YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I've got my Honda Dax on the lift today, and I've got an installation that I've been looking forward to doing. I'm going to swap out the rear swing arm for the over racing swing arm. This is aluminum. It's got this additional stabilizer brace. Honestly, I'm mostly doing it for the looks. The additional benefits is the fact that this is really light. Even with the stabilizer brace, this is 2.5 pounds lighter than the stock steel swing arm. It also has really nice bearings in it. I'll show you when I pull this off. The stock swing arm on all these Honda Minis have these rubber bushings that are captured so that they can't fully articulate. When the suspension moves, it also still stays kind of sprung within that bearing, really limiting the performance of the suspension. And on this bike where I have some nice Gears Racing suspension, I'm not getting the full use of it because the swing arm bushings are limiting that. Again, something that won't be the case on this pretty over racing swing arm that I'm already getting fingerprints all over. But anyway, looks really gorgeous, and additionally has really good chain adjusters. I did put the TST chain adjusters on this bike so that I have good ones here, but this is all integrated and looks really nice. The other super cool thing about this, most of the over racing parts and other Japanese brands that I've been ordering are from WeBike. I actually got this from Man in the Box. They're now importing and carry in stock a lot of over racing stuff that, for one, is actually less expensive when you factor in shipping, trying to get it from someplace like WeBike. But also then I get it super quick because it's just continental United States shipping that moves a lot faster. So really excited about that. I'll link to this product on the Man in the Box website in the description below, but really happy that a brand like Over Racing is now available here in the United States. So I have this set up so that it's attached to my ceiling so that I can take some weight off the back, because I'm going to have to lift up the bike so that I can get the new swing arm on. The swing arm's only attached to the bike, really attached to the bike in 2 points. One is from the shocks on both sides, and then the swing arm bolt that runs through the rear sets. Then there's a few other things that I'll need to disconnect. I have my cool Scooter Swap Shop vertical license plate, and I showed in another video how I actually have a wire running through this for the illumination, and then on the other side taking off the brake caliper. But it's really just the swing arm and the shocks that are holding most of it together. So I'm going to pull off the wheel, pull off across the axle here, take the bike off its own weight, and this should be a pretty straightforward swap. So this is what I was talking about regarding the captured rubber bushings that are in the suspension. I have both shock arms off of the bolts now, and it still doesn't automatically just fall down. It's not a bearing, it's kind of stuck in that position. So it's kind of suspended again in itself with that bushing, limiting what the suspension can do because it can't travel as freely as it should. Maybe with the stock suspension, in conjunction with this rubber bushing setup, that makes sense. But again, if you're running nice suspension, you're not getting the full benefit of it unless you're running bearings. Man in the Box, I don't think for this bike yet, but I know for the Monkey, I did an installation video on their bronze bushings, which again, allow the stock swing arm to fully articulate. But I like this solution of just putting a brand new swing arm on the bike. And you can see now that I have the tension off of those bushings, the swing arm now articulates freely. But we want it to be able to do that while the swing arm bolt is tightened. And one more look at those rubber bushings that I'm talking about. So there's a steel collet on the inside, and the rest just has this vulcanized rubber completely surrounding it. So once the bolt is firmly against this steel collet, this thing isn't moving except for within the confines of how much this rubber can flex. Just a quick side-by-side. These two are the exact same length. Again, the over racing one though having that additional stabilizer bar. But otherwise, the Over racing one also comes with the exact same standoffs. This one on the right side here is for the brake line clamp, and on the left side, the one here and this piece here are for the chain guard. On the over swing arm, there aren't captured nuts for the bolt to hold the lower part of the spring, so it comes with nuts to thread onto the bolt. My S3 license plate mount also still neatly fits onto the over racing swing arm. Okay, I just realized something that I didn't realize before. I thought I could just move the chain over without breaking it, but it looks like I'll have to take it apart briefly because the chain runs in between the stabilizing arm and the rest of the swing arm. Anyway, that isn't hard, but just mindful that you got to do that. So then I'm going to torque everything down, get the chain guard cover back on, and I think this project is done. This is one of the few ones that ended up being easier than expected, but I absolutely love the way that it looks. I think the raw aluminum here goes well with the raw aluminum from the SMR Triple Tree, as well as some of the other aluminum accents that I have and ones that I will be adding to the bike. So looking cool. Let me get this buttoned up and then we'll get it outside to see what it looks like in the light. Okay, so it's the next morning. I did do a short ride and the suspension does actually feel a little bit better. But most importantly to me, I think it looks awesome. I do have more aluminum parts to offset or balance the aluminum versus black that I've got going on this bike, but just wanted to walk you around the finished and installed product. So thank you again to Man in the Box for getting this shipped out to me so quickly. I've still got a lot of videos left on this bike. A lot of links in the description below. Thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and keep on building.